Hello and welcome to the United Stand. We are top of the league. Said we are top of the league. It's only the first game of the season, I know, but what a day. What a perfect day. And I'm glad I spent it with you. Absolutely brilliant. And if we can keep this positivity up this season, because there's a lot of positives to talk about, then we're going to be good. Personally, I don't know how you feel, but I'm just overjoyed. I know it's only West Ham, and maybe West Ham will be battling relegation, I do not know. But the reality is, it's a massively important game for Manchester United, because last season, these were the sort of games we dropped 2 points in. We would have drawn this game last season. Those two chances Lukaku had, basically were the best two chances of the game up until that point, and that was 2-0, and we took them. Last season, I think we would have missed those chances, and we would have been going into the 60th, 70th minute 0-0, getting nervous, and the crowd getting nervous, etc, etc. So really, really pleased that we actually did pull out a result in a game that last season we would not have pulled that result out in. The bigger picture, I just want to talk about this quickly before I talk about man of the match and all that lot, because it was a great performance, and I want to talk Anthony Martial. Oh, God, yes. But I'm a bit like Carrick fan there. But what I want to say is that there was a few people saying Herrera dropped. Oh, is that the end of Herrera, this, that and the other? For me, it's not about that. We were talking about this in the pre-season tour. Manchester United, in the pre-season tour, played different formations. We're very dynamic, and I think we've got to be dynamic this season. We've got, even towards the end of the first half, we were playing a 4-2-3-1. It became a 4-4-2 with Rashford up front with Lukaku. That was in the same half of football. We've got to be like that within 90 minutes, but certainly within different fixtures. And I think Herrera didn't play today, but against certain teams away from home, I'm thinking people like Liverpool, Chelsea, City, we won't play like we did today with Mata and Mkhitaryan and Rashford. We won't do that. We'll probably play 4-3-3, and we'd have Herrera, Pogba, Matic, and be a little bit more compact in the midfield. That's where Herrera will play. Maybe in another game, he would play a two midfielders and have Matic and Herrera with Pogba further forward. It's all about the opposition. And I think Mourinho deserves a massive pat on the back, not because of the scoreline just, but because he actually put Herrera on the bench today and played Mata. Mkhitaryan was probably always going to play, but he probably was thinking, I'll play Herrera. But we're at home, we're against West Ham, let's get another attacker on the pitch. Yes, it means a difficult decision that Herrera needs to be dropped, but it's 3 points, it's 4-0. Old Trafford's absolutely rocking in that second half. We're all really, really happy. Fantastic. And yeah, I love Herrera, but he was on the bench today, and that was the right decision. Next week, we're away to Swansea. He might think, I need more in the midfield. He plays Herrera, Matic and Pogba. He drops Mkhitaryan or Mata. And do we moan about that dropping? You don't moan about droppings when the performance is good and you're getting the results. I think the problem over the last 3 years, we've moaned about players not playing, under Van Gaal, people like Mata and Herrera, because the performances have been poor. We're going to have to be dynamic this season. Formation, the players that we use. And I look at the bench today. Martial comes on 10 minutes. He's given 10 minutes. Now, I'm not going to moan about that 10 minutes because he came on before Lingard, and that's a positive, because I thought Mourinho, he's brought his favourite Fellaini on. He's now going to bring Lingard on. He brings Martial on. He's got 10 minutes to do something. He scores a goal. He gets an assist. I mean, what more can he do? And that is really positive. I'm not going to start demanding that Martial starts for United. I want him to, but I'm not going to start demanding it. All I'm asking is that he stays. This nonsense about him going to Spurs, Inter Milan, wherever else, stops. Mourinho, put him on the bench. Get him on the pitch like he did today. Scores a goal, makes a goal. Let him build. Let him become this player that I and many of you believe he can. I'm not impatient to that. As long as he's given this chance at Manchester United. He got 10 minutes today. He did all he could do. Goal and assist. Brilliant. Cherry on the cake of a perfect day. Jonathan Gorbett says, is there an after-match press conference with Mourinho? I imagine there will be in about 10 to 15 minutes time on Sky, mate. So you're all right. You're safe here. With regards to the performance, I think the first 20 minutes, West Ham gave as good as they got. We don't start under Mourinho, Van Gaal, Moyes like Sir Alex Ferguson. He'd get the crowd going up in the first 20 minutes. He'd get down the flanks and, teams would be terrified. It's a different time. That second half was like that first half used to get under Sir Alex Ferguson. Old Trafford was rocking, West Ham were on the ropes, and we knocked them out. We absolutely destroyed them in the second half. 3 goals in the second half. Pogba's goal was brilliant as well. We could have had more, but it's different times under Mourinho. We kept a clean sheet. Look at this Premier League's opening weekend. all the top teams, most of them conceding goals and a lot of goals. United never looked like doing it. I said that yesterday. Defence seems to be a relic of the past for most teams. Mourinho defines himself, prides himself on it. That could mean countless points for us this year if we are defensively strong. So lots there. But what I would say about Mourinho that I've come to a long time to get to this point is we beat West Ham 4-0. We take 3 points. We get 4 goals. We help our goal difference on the first game of the season. Our new striker gets 2 goals. Brilliant start. Brilliant start to the season. But are Man City a better team than us? Potentially. Maybe Chelsea are. Who knows? We were in 6th last year. Maybe Spurs are a better team than us at the moment. We've beaten what was in front of us, which is West Ham. What Mourinho is the king of, and he couldn't do it last year because players let him down and injuries and everything like that. What Mourinho is the king of is breaking every game down and getting the points from every game. So 4-0, West Ham, goal difference boost, 3 points, tick. Swansea next week, win the game, 3 points, tick. If we get a few goals, great, but win the game. Leicester at home, win the game, boost the goal difference. And that's what we've got to do. So by the time we do play Man City and we do play Spurs and whoever else is going to be challenging for the title, we're ticking off the points elsewhere. We are consistently building points. Last year, because we couldn't put the ball in the back of the net and we dropped so many points at home to these teams that like West Ham today, it made it very hard for him to do that. And I think that's what Mourinho is brilliant at, and that's what he will do. Right, let's talk about the players and the performances. Man of the match for me, I'm going to give it to Matic. I will give it to Matic because I used to give Michael Carrick man of the match so many times in games like this, where United have dominated, scored loads of goals, really, really entertained everybody, and you give it to a defensive midfielder, and people are like, what are you on about? Why have you done that? Because it's the thinking man or woman's pick. It's the player who provides the platform for the people in front of them to go and express themselves, and Matic was fantastic today. I don't want to talk anymore about United fans arguing amongst United fans saying, oh, but you didn't want Matic. Well, a vast majority of United fans didn't want Matic. How wrong we were. We thought he was a reject from Chelsea because that's what we were told at the time by Chelsea fans. Then their manager came out this week and said he didn't want to sell him. So that's been killed. That rumour's nonsense. We saw Chelsea yesterday fall apart because they missed him. And we've seen him against Real Madrid and again today run a midfield. And he is more mobile than any of us thought. And as for he's on the decline, as I said yesterday, maybe because he had Kante next to him and Kante just runs everywhere, that sort of swallowed and swamped Matic, and you didn't notice Matic as much because Kante's running around so much, and Conte. So he gets man of the match. Lukaku can't do any more than he did today. Ran the channels really well, held the ball up really well. He's still got to improve his build-up play. He will do that. But 2 chances, 2 goals, brilliant, brilliant. Put us in the position where we didn't have to panic. Phil Jones, nobody would have wanted him to play today. Didn't put a foot wrong. Will he do it? Can he stay fit for longer than 6 games? Probably not. Will he make mistakes against bigger teams? Probably. But when he was needed today, he came in and he played well. There wasn't a bad performance from anybody for United today. Nobody played badly. De Gea made saves when he needed to. Valencia at captain was brilliant. Daley Blind did well at left back. Bailly, strong. There was a brilliant header from Bailly at one point where a cross came in. He had 3 West Ham players around him on the 6-yard box. You think one of them's going to get there? No chance. He gets up and he heads it away and nothing happens. Brilliant. Matic, brilliant. Pogba played really well. Mkhitaryan and Mata, very, very busy. I thought Rashford was really good second half. Lukaku scored the goal. Martial came on and scored and played really well. Fellaini, I don't really understand why he came on. Herrera could have done that job, but I'm not going to dwell on that too much. All in all, it was a great performance. What do I think about that Manchester United side? Can it win the title? I predicted United would win the title. I did it 2 weeks ago. I did it 2 months ago. I did it 8 months ago. I'm basing United winning the title on the fact that Mourinho always wins the title in his second year. Nothing more than that. That's what I'm basing it on. I predict United will win the title. Do we still need to improve? Yes. I think on the left-hand side, we are still weak. Against the better teams, I think we'll get exploited there. But will Luke Shaw be the answer to that? I look at that squad now and I see a lot of changeability. I see a lot of formations we can play. I see a lot of morale. Team morale is clearly very good. If the players are performing, fantastic. Mkhitaryan's got to be a big player this year. Martial, Pogba, big seasons for them for different reasons. Not as convincing last year. So very, very positive about it. Really excited about this season. I think we've got to take every game as it comes. We did win our first 3 games last season and we still finished 6th. So whatever we do before that international break at the end of this month, we could have 9 points. We had 9 points last year. But I think it feels different because this is now becoming Mourinho's team. We've got to be active in the transfer market. If you look at Liverpool, you look at Chelsea yesterday, they're going to be active because they've had a bad start. We need to be active because we've had a good start, but there are still a couple of areas that we need help in. Even if it's just for squad depth, I still think someone like Perisic would be fantastic. I'm not going to blitz massively into your live comments because if you remember from the watch along tonight at 8 o'clock for the first time ever, instead of having guests on tonight, we are having guests. It's going to be you. I'm opening up Skype. You can call in. You can give us your thoughts. I want passionate, real opinion on what you thought about today. What was good? What worries you? Can we win the title? What you'd sign? Get on. Let's bottle this positivity because I tell you what, one thing I would say, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, Spurs, City, they'll have watched United today and they'll be like, okay, we've got a problem. Not because we're going to run away with the league, but because we are a competitor. Last season, they laughed at us because we kept drawing at home to West Ham, Burnley, Stoke, Hull. Rubbish. You know, we should be winning them games. What we've done today is sent a big message. That's not happening anymore. We're going to win these games and we're actually going to win them well. And we're here to challenge this year. And they will be worried. They'll be worried by that because last year we dropped points. I was worried today. You were worried. This was the sort of game that we dropped points, which is why it was the perfect first game of the season to have, because it allows us on that opening day to exercise the ghosts of last season. And boy, oh boy, did we do that. Absolutely perfect. And personally, I loved that 10 minutes from Martial because it added on to what was a perfect day and it put the cherry on the cake of it. Really, really good. 2 assists for Mkhitaryan as well. Matic was on fire, says Kudzai. Still read some of the messages, says Azaika Hero. There will be a Skype there'll be a Skype show tomorrow night as well. You're getting 2 for 1. But tonight I just wanted to do it because it's the first game of the season. It's only going to be a couple of hours after the game and I really wanted to bottle that, you know, because you do the Skype show on a Monday and you've got to think ahead. Tonight you can just bottle that, you know, that absolute match reaction and give it to us. We won't be getting rid of Martial, surely, Sanad. He's saying it would be stupid to do it. Ellis, Mata was excellent, drifting all over the pitch, similar to how Hazard does it. Mata is so consistent. Whether he's in your first 11 or not, what a player. This is it. United need to have 18 players this year that can come in. Maybe Herrera can force his way in. Martial certainly can. You've still got players to come back. Get a couple of signings in as well. It's about a squad. I look at Chelsea's squad, I think they're going to struggle. I look at Man City's squad, I think they've bought quite well. I look at Liverpool's squad, no depth. I look at Arsenal, no defence. I look at Spurs, very good, but I can't see them being competitive at Wembley. It's really, I know we said it last year, and I know it's only the opening game of the season, but surely it's got to be City or United this year. But we've got to be consistent and we've got to keep this up, but I'm very excited. Thanks everyone for watching. I'm going to have a little bit of a break. And drop a like on the video, give us your thoughts on your man of the match, and join us live at 8 o'clock and get involved, Skyping in. It's going to be a great show. Thanks for watching.